Yeah, my name's Grant Cardone. I live right here in Miami. We have about 200 employees here in Aventura. I own almost $4 billion worth of real estate. A lot of it is in Florida. A lot of it's in Miami and Fort Lauderdale. I didn't grow up with all this stuff, but I figured out how to get all this stuff. I own a company that does about $150 million a year in revenue.
Sheesh.
And a lot of that's over the internet. I'm probably the #1 crowdfunder in the world, raising more money for real estate projects without a middleman, without brokers, and without ads than anyone else in the world. And the reason that's important to your audience is because when people do hear about my deal, they don't have 100% of the money goes into the actual investment rather than to the broker or the bank or to wasted fees. So, and then the last thing is I do some of the largest real estate events in the world. That's good. I do some of the largest, not real estate events. I do some of the largest business conference events in the world.
You went through some real trials and tribulations to get to where you're at now. Can you tell the people a little bit about your history? I know, I know, but I want the people to kind of know like where you came from, and you didn't grow up rich always, or you didn't have this money.
No. I grew up single mother. My dad died when I was 10. We were worried. My mom was worried about the bills. She was worried about gasoline. I remember I was telling the guy last night, we flew to Orlando. I got a helicopter. We flew from Miami to Orlando. We landed and a truck pulled up to fill up. Let me see if I can show it to you. To fill up that helicopter right there. That's a model of it, obviously. And I literally started crying, man. I'm like, I can't believe it. And my guy Ryan's like, "What's up, man?" I said, "Dude, I remember when I could not buy 1 gallon of gas for my Toyota truck. And today I got a truck pulling up to put fuel in a helicopter with my name on it."
Wow.
So like I remember my mom. It's not like we were hungry. We were scared. And I remember watching my mom scared every day, and it killed me as a 10-year-old to watch my mom in terror and not be able to do anything about it. So I just, by the time I was 15 or 16 years old, I made a commitment that I was going to somehow figure out how to become someone. And if I ever did, if I ever did, because it was a complete impossibility at that time. But if I ever did, that I was going to take care of other people. I was going to be a good person. I was going to, and I was going to be transparent and help people.
We spoke a little bit earlier before the podcast, and I have some water here on the table, right? And this symbolizes a lot for me because back in the day when I first came to America, I actually came on your show, Whatever It Takes, and you kind of gave me a hard reality that I didn't have, from back home, and it made me who I am today. So if you don't mind, we're going to play a clip right here.
Yeah.
Kind of showcase what happened.
Yeah, I love that. Love that.
Because you inspired me a lot, man. So this is very, very, very important to me.
Yeah, this is a big interview for us, man. Like, like me and Fresh both really respect and admire, what you've done. So this is like, so when you told Fresh this, it really hit him. He was like, "Man, I got to self-improve." And this is the clip right here.
Here we go.
Younger Fresh.
Here we go. Legendary. You're right, man. I was too nice. I was too stuck on being like nice and polite. I need to have more aggression, more, like tenacity. And after that day, man, I sat in the car. I was like, yo, this hurt because obviously to me, you were a mentor and you still are today. You inspired me. I was like, you know what? I need to improve. I started reading books. I finished reading all your books, Closer's Survival Guide, 10X, all those books I finished reading, watched more videos on real estate. And then I bought my first property a year later, multifamily, lived in one unit, rented it out, bought another one. And basically what happened was that you inspired me to move forward. But without that, I still would have been pedaling my wheels, trying to figure out how to be, a person that I wanted to be. But you inspired me, man. So shout out to you for having that tough talk with me, you and Jerry Glant, because it made me who I am today. And now we're the #1 podcast in the world. Yeah. And also, remember I said 100K? I'm making 100K a month now.
There you go, man.
Wow, dude, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah. Inspiring.
That is amazing.
Me and him. So,
but no, Grant, that's like, dude, like you're changing lives, you know.
Yeah.
And we want to just like put that out there and let people know that you're a huge inspiration for us.
Yep.
And if it weren't for you, Fresh wouldn't be where he's at. He wouldn't have pushed himself, and we're able to meet and like kind of like, you know, join forces to make things happen. So thank you, man. We got to give you praise.
Yeah, thank you guys.
So how did you get started in real estate, Grant? Like, how did you build your empire that you have now?
So I was 28, 29 years old. I was had started a company, my first company, and you know, the place where I lived, I bought a house. I bought which I wouldn't do again, by the way, but I bought at 1117 Sheffield, Bel Air, Texas. I bought it as an investment. Figured out how to put $3,000 down, $3,700, and I bought a $78,000 house. I was selling automobiles at the time. I didn't know I was going to lose my job. I was going to lose my job and then start the company. So it's like right in between. And I bought the house, closed on it, put a tenant in, and I was like, man, this is going to be great. The payment was $375. I rented it for $575. I made $200 a month. If you do that every month, it's $2,400. I put $3,700 down. I was making 80% of my money.
Wow.
And I went and bought a second house.
Bam.
So I bought a house, then I bought a second house. Second house I lived in and realized, oh shit, it didn't work as good because I had to make the payment.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then what happened was the lady, the girl that rented the house, her and her sister at 1117 Sheffield, her and her sister ended up moving out in February, which was only like 6 months after they moved in. Now I had two payments, one on the rental house and one on my house. And I'm like, okay, I got to learn something else about real estate. So you see, I went and bought stuff without knowing anything, which is kind of cool, by the way, because see, once you buy something, I think too many people spend too much time studying rather than doing something. And what happens is you're a learner, you're not an investor. You got to become an investor and then learn. And otherwise, you're just going to be a learner. I've never met a rich learner. I've never met somebody that, you know, did great things because they learned more. But that being said, I invested in the two properties and I realized, okay, there's something broken about this model. And I started studying it. And as I started studying people that were super, super successful in real estate, not just the people I was comfortable with. And I'm talking about like way outside of my comfort zone, way outside of where I grew up. I started reading about who owns the most real estate. You know, who is Fred Trump? Companies, their involvement in. But the more I studied, the more I realized, man, rich people own real estate.
Yeah.
But they weren't buying one house. They were buying apartments. They were buying retail. They were buying shopping centers, storage, industrial, and all of those. The one I could understand the best was the rental game. And that was 30 years ago, 30 years ago, probably about this time of the year. I bought my first apartment deal, 48 units. I put $350,000 down. I borrowed most of that from my family. And I made $5 million on that deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I'd never made $1 million. I'd never made $1 million on anything.
Yeah, and Grant, I would say like you're the person that inspired me to always look at multifamily, getting more doors. You know, I always when we talk on the podcast about real estate, we always say, hey, we
multifamily.
We're multifamily. We agree with Grant on that.
That buying a house is the wrong thing to do, is because it is the wrong order in which people make decisions and actions in their life. You get out of college, you find somebody, you fall in love, and you're like, let's go buy a house. Okay. I don't know why you think you're entitled to it or deserve it, because you certainly haven't earned it. What you should do right now is go out and build a business, a career, and build your relationship.
Yeah.
Not pick out freaking sofas and bullshit for the walls and your little welcome mat, that says John and Jenny live here and we are happy. It's bullshit. It's all you're doing is paying for the banks. You're funding the entire financial machinery of the United States of America and around the world. You're part of a trap. You're part of a scheme and a scam that says, let's trap the starters, the startups. Okay. And before everybody in the audience says, this guy's ridiculous, Elon Musk doesn't own a home. Steve Jobs had one house. Warren Buffett's owned one home. Bill Gates has one home. Okay. And this is not how any of them, by the way, talk about how they got rich.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you know, on the startup, you probably shouldn't even do the damn relationship. You ought to go get your damn life together.
Facts.
Build a business, build your credit score, build your assets, then worry about where you're going to get your ass from. And then put two asses together that have both worked on their net worth and their businesses. And then rather than buying a house together and then having to divide it later when you get a divorce, go buy some assets that protect you and your family and your kids and that pay you while you sleep. Because a house is something you fund. Those apartments behind me, it doesn't matter where I go in the world or even if I'm alive. Okay, if I die today, we have a house down the street. I own a home, just so everybody knows. I waited many, many years to buy that house. And I paid cash for it when I bought it. Mm-hmm. And I could sell it for about 15 million more than I paid for it. Mm-hmm. I paid for that house with that, not with money I earned.
Bam. That's the key.
And you have a good philosophy, Grant, or I would say strategy, where basically you have your assets by your toys. So basically, before you even bought a watch, a nice car, the Rolls Royce, G-Wagon, the assets from real estate paid for those luxuries.
Yes,
that's very good.
So I think we have 9 or 10 businesses next door to me right now. I own these. These are privately held businesses. Some of them are brand new. Some of them are matured. Some of them make a little bit of money, and some of them make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So what I do is I invest in me first. I've already done that. I got money to invest in me, take care of myself, my health, my spiritual development, my awareness, education, collaboration, meeting new people. Second thing I invest in is the companies. The money these companies make, we reinvest in the companies and the people, the education of the people. Making sure the place is safe, security, advertising and marketing, research, development, etc. Any money that's left over, I take all of it and I dump it into that building behind me is in Fort Lauderdale. We're buying it right now. It's a $260 million building.
Whoa!
So it takes $80 million to buy it. And I put the 80 million down. I take the money from my businesses, boom, I dump it into that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't spend money that I earn. This is the takeaway for the Fresh Fit audience. I don't spend money I earn. I never spend money I earn. Nothing. I won't spend $10 of money I earn. I invest 100% of all my earned dollars after expenses. And 100% of that money I take and I invest 100% of it, not 90% of it or 80%, all of it, dude. I push all of it. What I do is I buy sure things. And that piece of real estate right there, for 35 years I've been buying real estate. I have never, ever, not one time, lost money on a real estate deal.
Whoa.
This brings me back to what you were saying, Walter. Mm-hmm. Any money that building produces, I can then spend any way I want. Vacations, Gucci, Rolls Royce, Patek's,
Patek,
sunglasses, handkerchiefs that you lose, whatever. Because it's going to recur. People should not spend earned income. They should spend the recurring passive income.
Yeah.